Hello, my name is Peter Uribe. I'm an acting teacher for the Conservatory at OCSA. Been teaching there for 19 wonderful years. And this is a tutorial on Lance's monologue from Two Gentlemen of Verona, Act 2, Scene 3. So, we're going to through a few parts about how to attack this monologue. The specifics are up to you. Here we go. 1. Housekeeping. Before any Shakespeare monologue, you got to kind of know what you're saying. Some of the words are archaic. It's totally okay. You look them up, what's called a lexicon. More on that when you get to OCSA. So for this, E-R-E, means before in the monologue. Proportion, as in the proportion he inherited, it's an inherited family trait. What he inherited was the family trait of weeping, okay? Prodigious son, okay? Really meant prodigal son. He misquoted to a malaprop, and that's a story he misquoted from the Bible, okay? Sir Proteus, that's your boss, a nobleman who you work for. Wherever he goes, you go, okay? A great perplexity that happened in your house, okay? That was an emotional scene, like a great anxiety. A cur, you said like a cur. Well, that's a mutt or a not purebred dog, okay? A stone. It's being non-emotional, okay? Like stone cold, like a heart full of stone. His heart's stone. Soul is a double entendre. That happens in Shakespeare as well. It's one word there's two meanings. In this case, S-O-L-E, soul, how it's written, also can kind of mean S-O-U-L, soul, a double entendre. One word, two meanings. 2, it's a comedy. So where's the funny? And here's the deal. As an actor, you've got to kind of understand where the funny is, and you've got to find it, and you've got to see it. But then, you got to hide it from the character. The character can't know it's funny. For them, it's dead serious, dead straight. They're playing life and death, high stakes. But they're doing it over something ridiculous. And what happens in comedy is, there's a friction between something very serious, and we'll get to what that is in a second. And well, I'll tell you, in this case, what's very serious is his love for his dog, to the point where he's almost in like this relationship with his dog, where he's like, my dog is my partner, and he's in a tiff because his emotional needs are not getting met by his dog. He has to say goodbye to go with Proteus on his trip to go away, and everyone in his family, his mom, his dad, his grandma, the cat, for crying out loud, we're all emotional over him leaving. His dog, nothing. And that's what's kind of also ridiculous. Second part of this is there's material being ridiculous. I'm incredibly serious about something that's ridiculous because the dog can't understand that, because the dog can't have that. Now there's also, working right now, what's called topsy-turvydom, which means the bottom and top kind of flip, like a status flipping as well, okay? So I'm the master of my dog, or in this case, you're the master of your dog. Your dog should follow you. You should not be seeking the approval and love of your dog so much. That's topsy-turvydom. And yet, that's what's happening. Now, the other thing that happens is, in this, who is the audience? So in this case, you bring the audience into your dysfunctional relationship with your dog. And you're like hurt over your dog. And you're upset over your dog. Your dog is not meeting these emotional needs. And you are not getting it from the dog, and it's getting so bad that you need to talk to the audience now. And also, this big scene just played out, you're still emotional, and the dog's with you on stage. The dog, no matter what the dog does, is going to be comedic gold, because you're playing this whole relationship with the dog. If the dog does anything, it's going to be comedic gold for the audience. So you come out really super upset, and you're going on and on about, here's what's going on with the dog doesn't do this, dog does that, and you make the audience, and the audience in a Shakespeare monologue, and this is direct address, you do break the fourth wall and talk directly to the audience about the dog, but make them be something specific. An idea of this monologue might be like, they're the third wheel in your relationship, and you need their approval, and it's gotten so bad between you and your relationship with your dog, the two of you are in such a love tiff right now, you're on a spat, a lover's spat almost, that you're like, you know what? I'm not going to talk to my dog. I'm going to talk to the audience about my dog and get my dog in trouble. That's what's going to happen right now. I'm going to tell on my dog to the audience. I'm going to shame my dog. And I'm going to get them to be on my side. So the audience is put in this ridiculous situation of having to arbitrate between you and your ridiculous relationship with your dog that you play totally straight while you're weeping. Here's the two. When you find the funny, the character always leans into it, okay? So you lean into the funny. Don't pull back and try and be subtle with the funny. You go for that funny. But what'll keep it working is if you play it like it's real and straight. So you really have the spat with your dog. You really emotionally vent to the audience about it. You really try to get their side. Now, that's funny part one. There's a funny part two in this. Funny part two comes when, and think about who this person is too, who you are. Like, it is kind of endearing, kind of sad that your best companion in the whole world is your dog, even more so than your mom, your dad, everybody else, okay? And so when you start to tell the audience a story and the audience starts to get whatever, you at some certain point, either you can't get through to the audience, and so you decide to, you know what, I'll act it out for you. I'm telling a story, but you can't visualize the audience, so I'll play act it. And Shakespeare does this a lot too. His characters enjoy acting. So now you, in the second part of the funny, in Sarah's monologue, you get to act, the character gets to act, and you get to set the scene using all these ridiculous props. Now, only props you have on you, you have a walking stick, you have your shoes, and you basically have, you're heading to the ship to leave right now. So you use them. You improvise, and it should feel very improvisational. You grab the shoe, you go on. You talk about the sole of the shoe being like your mother. And again, you got some mom issues, because you start saying, no, the one with the hole in the sole, that's my mother. And you go on and you vent again. This is a person who gets very wronged. They get very wronged, and they're very emotionally. They're a hot mess, is really what they are. And like all hot messes, they need a whole lot of attention from us, the audience, and they want to vent, and they want to get to their side, and want to talk about the day. And here's the deal. There's something about that if you do it, we still get to laugh at other people's misery. It's kind of funny, okay? And it's kind of funny because underneath it all, it's kind of endearing, and it's kind of charming. And we all do kind of love our dogs, maybe a little more than we should. And so there winds up being something kind of human about it at the end. Have fun with it. Trust your choices. Lean into the comedy. Remember, the actor knows it's funny. The character doesn't, okay? Unless somewhere during it, you start to get some laughs from the audience and you have the rapport, and your character might like that, and then might start playing to the funny, and might start, but then your character's cracking the jokes. So no, is my character cracking the joke? Oh, I'm liking this. Or am I dead serious on this and I'm the butt of the joke? Have fun, lean in, go for it. Sometimes less is more. In this case, I'm going to say more is more. Enjoy the words, enjoy Shakespeare. I'll see you all next year.